Memorable movie scenes that have been shot in miniature make movie magic in 25 minutes. First on BBC One, Don Burke visits Norfolk Island.
Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A dog or two and a barbecue, flowers down the side, and veggies by the fence, all in Burkes Backyard. In Burkes Backyard.
These are Norfolk Island pine trees, one of the most common trees that you will see around coastal areas of Australia, and also one of the most magnificent as well. I'm sure it comes as no surprise to most people here that this tree occurs naturally in one place only on the whole face of the earth, and that's right here on Norfolk Island. Norfolk Island is the most superb island, beautiful scenery, and of course these wonderful old ruins of the penal settlement. And this was a very vicious settlement indeed. It's where some of the most indescribable tortures that have ever been, well, perpetrated on one human being by another within the history of the British Empire occurred. So bad were things here, they eventually closed it down. This is the jail, and there's the tiny little cells beneath me here where the poor convicts spent their days, around about 6 foot by 8 foot. That's 2 metres by about 2.5 metres. Terrible. And freedom for many of the convicts was over there. The only freedom that most of them could hope for was that dreadful 13 steps to the gallows where they looked out over the sea. Little remains of the gallows these days. Really all you can see are the marks in the wall where the steps were, and of course many prisoners walked up there and met the end of their line on top of that wall. Now, speaking of that, HMS Sirius, the flagship of the First Fleet, met the end of its line just out along the breakers there on the reef when it came here on the 19th of March, 1790. The anchor of HMS Sirius is preserved here in this Sirius Museum on Norfolk Island, as indeed is one of the small cannon. This is called a carronade, this particular one. But in a way, there is a more valuable relic, and that's this one. It's one of the cannon from HMS Bounty, which was, of course, involved with Captain Bligh and the famous mutiny. Marvellous to be able to come here and actually touch a piece of history like that.
What's on this week's show? Well, we'll look at a very unusual garden in Adelaide, also at Australia's best private garden, Nauru. We're going to road test silver-spangled Hamburg chooks, that's of course what we Australians call chickens, and our celebrity gardener lives right here on Norfolk Island, world-renowned author Colleen McCulley.
Now, do you know where Norfolk Island is? Well, it's about 1,600 kilometres from Australia, and it's about equal with Byron Bay, in regards to everyone in Byron Bay if you live there. And in a way, you know, it's funny because it's closer to New Zealand than it is to Australia. This is the world's tallest tree fern, and of course it's found nowhere else on Earth except on Norfolk Island. Its scientific name is Cyathea brownii, and in the past they've grown as tall as 80 or 90 feet. Now that's 25 metres or more. They often have roots that come out from the trunk into the air and buttress the base of this plant to stop it falling over. Beside me here also is another interesting plant. This is the only palm species which is native to Norfolk Island. This one is, well, predictably enough, called the Norfolk Island palm, or Repelostylus boweri. One of the fascinating things about Norfolk Island is that there's cows everywhere. They just roam the whole island, and these little chaps have the right of way. In fact, you'll be fined if you hit one of these on the roads. You've got to go along slowly and miss them. There's nothing more spectacular than a spotted animal, and one of the most spectacular of the lot would have to be the spotted horse, which is one of the types of the Appaloosa. There are obviously also spotted dogs, such as the Dalmatian. But many people are not aware of the fact that there are spotted poultry. This particular one is a spotted type of chook called a silver-spangled Hamburg. Just look at the superb coloration. Every feather is purest white with a lovely round black circle towards the tip, and they're the subject of tonight's road test. Where do the actual silver spangles come from?
Well, all I know, they come from England.
But presumably, did they originally come from the city of Hamburg?
No, nothing to do with Germany.
Nothing to do with it?
Nothing, no. Didn't even fly through.
So what are the characteristics of the little bantam silver-spangled Hamburg, Sid?
Well, when you compare them against the big ones, they're cheaper to keep. That's one of the main things with feed. They don't eat as much, and you don't have to have the pens as large as for the large birds. And they get very, very tame. When you take them to shows too, you could carry twice as many as what with the big ones, and they'll win just as many awards as the big ones.
Another variant of the silver-spangled Hamburg is this one. Isn't this a superbly marked little creature? Just look at that. This is the silver penciled Hamburg, where instead of having an individual spot on the feather, you've got stripes and striations. The rooster in this is a magnificent bird, usually with a jet black tail. But there you are, the silver penciled Hamburg. Is it very unusual to have a married couple who are both interested in the same sort of chook?
Oh, I don't think so.
We're about the only husband and wife team in Victoria at the moment.
That's right.
What does a good-looking silver-spangled Hamburg rooster look like?
Well, he should have a red eye, not a black eye or an orange eye, a good slate-coloured beak, a red comb. These are light because they're still in the molt. Slate legs, and a good furl. As soon as you show them, you put your hand underneath to see they've got a good straight keel. So you should get him up like that, and go like that, go under there, and under the tail should be clean, no smut, and the wings should flip back.
The next question is, how do you look after these birds and what do you feed them? Well, you feed them what you feed any other chook, which is usually pellets. And most of the breeders would mix them with a little bit of wheat and maybe some cracked corn, and of course lots of greens. Anything that's left over as scraps from the kitchen would usually do, particularly things like silver beet is wonderful for them, and a few garden weeds, things like obviously thistle and chickweed and so on, wonderful for them. Fresh water, a bit of shell grit, that's about it. Now, considering the enormous amount of work that's gone into poultry like that, they're actually very cheap to buy, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
What are you looking at?
It's
Well, we generally charge $30, which is cheap.
$30 per bird.
Per bird,
So if you bought a breeding trio, that's $90.
$90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've had the odd rooster
Oh,
that was a
yes.
bit aggressive. Do you
Yes.
get that occasionally?
Yes. Yes.
So what are they? They become Christmas dinner or something?
Well, Sid won't kill them.
Won't you?
No, if you've got a good chook, if he picks you, you don't take any notice of it.
Half the seed should be in the pot, according to me.
Well, the silver-spangled Hamburg has a lot going for it. It's an ornamental type of chook. Very pretty. I mean, look at the spots. They're just gorgeous birds. But apart from just being pretty, they come in little ones, this is a bantam, or in the full-size chook. Now, you can get eggs from them. They lay almost as many eggs as an ordinary chook. The eggs are delicious, but they're slightly smaller than the normal fowl egg. Apart from that, if you can bear to do it, well, if you breed any surplus birds, they're fine table birds. In other words, if you can do it, they're great eating. There you go.
Have you ever come across anything like this, Don?
Well, I've got to say I haven't. This is an extraordinary achievement, Sid, to win this many major awards, like best of whatever it is or best in show is fantastic achievement. Who stitched all these together?
Me missus.
So what's the secret to a happy life then, Sid?
Well, the secret of a happy life is having something to occupy your mind all the time and to having a loving wife.
So if you had the chance, would you change anything in your life?
No. It was a lot of heartache and a lot of pleasure to have all these presented to me over the years, and to my good wife, who I couldn't have done what we have done, only we've been able to do it together.
One of the important things when you're driving around suburbs near your place is to have a look for interesting gardens. You can learn so much. And we're in Adelaide having a look at what they've got to offer. So far, I just feel it, my goodness me. This is definitely one of Australia's most interesting gardens. Well, have you ever seen anything like this?
I think it's
No,
fantastic.
never seen anything like this before.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
I don't know about you, I'm going inside to find out who owns it.
Well, it's a great idea.
Hey, what are you doing here, boys? This is not your place. Get out of here.
Oh, g'day.
What are you doing here again?
I'm Don Burke.
Oh, you're Johnny from
Don-
the television,
That's
eh?
right. Is
You
this
should ask me before you come here.
I'm sorry.
You're a good boy. Still do what you like.
Thank you. Your name is?
Germano.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to
Jemima.
meet you.
What, did you build all this yourself?
Yeah, I built this one a bit at a time, improving and discovering the defects and improving all the time, and goes on and on and on. At a lifetime, we got a paradise.
It really is a tremendous achievement. How long did it take you to do it?
Well, the clock taking me 3 years. The clock.
Yes.
And this one, then smash them up again and improve them and like it is today.
Goodness. And everything moves.
Yeah. Yeah, every time moving, but still improvement even from today. Discovering the defects is still improving today.
And what drives it all?
Well, drive 2 big windmills on the back.
2 windmills?
Yeah, windmills pumping it through the 4-inch pump. Pumping the water, coming through the ceiling, supply this around here, and go back again and come back again.
So that water coming over the roof, it actually cools your house?
Yeah, the water spread on top of every room
Goodness.
and keep the condensation of the roof cooler.
And then it's all collected and runs back down here?
Collect and come in, go round again and come back again.
That's amazing. I noticed there's more over there. Can we have a look at that?
Yeah, this here, this is squirt water. When the wind blows, this is squirt water up here.